These are signal pictures to tell you this system's going down. And we'll have to take a while and see where we are January, February next year. Maybe a little bit later. Just do yourself a favor and watch what's going on. You see, globally, all of a sudden we've got a global financial crisis, and globally the markets are forming a single market, and the banks are starting to be owned by the government. World leaders vow to battle economic crisis. World leaders, global problem, and again with a signal picture of that looking down. So my question is, what was the result of this financial meltdown? What happened? What happened? Did you notice? Well, CNN tells us the United States plans to buy financial stocks. The government in America is buying into the banks. Isn't that a bit weird for the government to own the banks? Have you noticed that there's usually a small discrepancy between the psychology of the civil service to the psychology of business? Business doesn't want the bank fiddling in its backyard, but now the banks are owned by the government. Here's another one. This is from the UK, and look at this. Government to take stake in banks, high street banks, etc., HBOS and Royal Bank, etc., etc. And look at their numbers. Look at the figures. 500 billion pounds. Where do they get the money from? 2 days ago, Kuwait moves up to prop up the major bank. It's not just the US and the UK. It's all over the world. Banks all over the world are starting to step up to the plate. Yesterday I picked up an article, this is 2 days ago, the FTSE drops to a 5-year low. This is still falling. Probably it'll come back a little bit and then you'll see it dive. What about this article? Also, 2 days ago, 9 US banks are to share the $80 billion boost. Which are the banks? Listen to the names. Read them at the bottom. Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, Bank of New York, Mellon, State Street, and Merrill Lynch. These are the biggest names in the organization, in the system. Now, it's one thing to understand that there's a new world order that's on its way. But the question we should be asking is why? Why is there a new world order coming? Why do the governments want to buy in to the banking institutions? Why? Well, it comes back to the no buy or sell. See, the Bible says that there will be an agreement between civil governments worldwide and Rome. And it also says that we won't be able to buy or sell. And that's the point that we have to always get back to. How is what we're seeing in world events tying back to Bible prophecy? It is phenomenal to see how they're tying in, and how the no buy or sell law of the blue law of Satan is about to be implemented. As this Business Times article explains, if you think your cash is safe, think again. Beware of your bank. I just use Australia. I happen to be here at the moment. I use this country as an example. You listen to the news. This morning there was another news bulletin saying that the investment organizations, which have already frozen people's assets and people's finance, need to become banks in order to get their money out. Is that possibility? Well, we know for a fact that here in this country, the investment organizations have already frozen people's money. Now, where's this going? I don't know. But I know that the Bible says we won't be able to buy or sell. And that's coming, and it's sooner than you think. Now, I've said before in this lecture, and I say it again, I don't think we've seen the end of this. Watch for January or February 2009. Something's going to happen. It certainly looks like it. And what happens after that? Maybe it'll be also according to Bible prophecy. Here's an article, fascinating article, which says there's a new world on Wall Street. The newspaper article of Wednesday, October 22nd says there's a new world order in the wake of global economic turmoil. And it may not be the one that many observers think. Many observers think this is going to be a wonderful solution to the problem. In fact, Christianity When the Sunday law is issued, it's going to say, yay, finally, the government is standing up for Christianity. You see, and that's why the Bible says many will be deceived into receiving the mark of the beast. Because it'll sound right, it'll look right, it'll feel right, but it'll be wrong. Here's another article, fascinating. This is October 8th. New financial world order, the meltdown gathers speed. October 15th, a new financial world structure will soon shape our collective destiny. And another one, October 20th, leaders are to rewrite global finance rules. The global finance is now in their hands. You know what? It's closer than you think. It's as if they've got this whole thing sewn up. Was there a global financial meltdown? Yes. And what was the result? Now, the government owns your house. The government owns your car. The government owns the banks. And they're looking to create this global family. And you know what? They've already tested it, and it works. China was their test tube baby. Human controls. Being told what to believe. Thinking what they're telling you to. It sounds silly, but it works, and it's coming. What did the Pope do? This year he went to America. Isn't it amazing to see what date he spoke at the United Nations? April 18th. Now, to any one normal person on the street, that doesn't mean anything. But to the occultists, they'll identify it immediately. April 666. April 18. Here the papacy goes to the United Nations. Here you can see the image of him standing next to Ban Ki-moon as he waves at the delegates. There he is speaking to the delegates of the nations worldwide. You know that they gave him a standing ovation after that talk? Have you ever heard him speak? It certainly doesn't deserve, the speech doesn't deserve a standing ovation. So why are they supporting him? Why are they clapping for him? Because they understand that he is the solution to the world's problems. He's the one that'll stand up and take the lead in the next couple of months, maybe a couple of years. And the Pope says in this article from Reuters that the Pope says that the church's role in politics is good for all. Isn't that incredible? The reason America was started was to run away from Rome. Today, Rome is sticking its dirty fingers inside the politics of the country. And it says, well, it's for the good of all. Not only that, if you look at this brand new article, this is from September 21st, 2008. Critics say that the Pope aims to change laws. Now, is it just me, or is there maybe somewhere in the Bible where that is foretold that the Pope, the Antichrist, will think to change times and laws? Well, here it is. Daniel 7:25. And he shall think to change times and laws. See, today, I don't have to tell you this is going to happen. I can read you CNN and Sky News and BBC World and all the others. Because we are living in prophetic times. We are living in biblical times. A friend of mine said the other day, we are no longer living in the signs of the times. We are now living in the times of the signs. You see, the Pope is calling for global Sunday observance. It is said that if we believe religion is true, we should be reintroducing, listen carefully, a criminal penalty for those who fail to attend church on Sundays. A criminal penalty. Now, to be put down as a criminal means you have to have broken the law of the government. That means that there's a government civil law coming in the world. But that's what we've been saying for 160 years. Why the ridicule? Is it maybe possible that it's closer than you think? Is there a Sunday law coming? Can you see it anywhere in the world? Well, a couple of months ago, in fact, here's an article from July 15th. Look at carefully. 2008. Sunday shopping has been banned in Croatia. You know that? Sunday shopping, buying and selling has been banned in Croatia. And who did it? Who do you think put the blockage in place? This has been passed by the highest civil laws and civil institutions of Croatia. Who do you think put this request in? Well, here's an article